Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM24 Yeti episode 29. We are still at the Arctic race of Norway. It's stage 3 of 4, where the first two stages were sprints. We did get our next pro win out of that one. We need just 2 more to finish off the Pop 3 set. The last 2 stages here are punchy though, so it's going to be a different approach on how we take this one on. Unfortunately, our best puncher, Zipanati, now with 13k left on stage 3 here, has picked up a big negative. He's got a -4 draw today, and so instead of being our puncher, he's going to be our first domestique because everybody else has a +3 or better. Most of these riders are on a fitness peak right now. All of them have the objective. So yeah, this one hurts pretty bad in terms of what he got versus what he should have had. But we've established a nice front position here. It's a steep climb, but it's a short climb on this stage. So we're going to get on to Sofia here as we go inside 10k, Zipanati to follow it up behind. And I don't like our chances here on this one. It's a little steep for kind of lack of mountain rating that we have within our team this year, but we'll absolutely give it a shot. Right now things are looking really good on our chances, where we are clearly leading out front and nobody's trying to overtake us, and most of these teams are not going to be in any sort of train. So as we hit the base of the not yet official climb, but we begin climbing, we still have a good amount of riders here, and could we maybe drop somebody off? Not quite, but let's go 99 for Sofia. Red bar is gone, so just give me your maximum. We are not yet to the climb to come. Grönland is pretty punchy, and we'll take over here in just a moment. Let's go with a 95. Sofia to get on the back, and we're starting to split up the field, and it's 3k. That's it, just 3k. You see just how steep this thing is. It's going to ease off a little bit, but this thing just goes on, and it's hurting. It's hurting everybody. 2.7. Let's get those last couple of gels in. Okay, there goes the red bar. Watch. Whoa. Okay. Zvare. Very punchy. Not much of a climber. Should be pretty beatable. Still 2.4k. We are going to have to push a little less hard, though, as we're not going to make it that far. Grönland did pretty well with that.
Things are hotting up at the front.
Okay, we've offset that guy. But here comes the next wave of attacks. Fedorov, another. So this is the nice thing that we're kind of setting up with this one. Altengarel is pretty much done though. 1.6k is still too far for these guys. So now a 91 from Shui. Leading out Abdullah into the last kilometer. Okay, sprinting for Shui. Abdullah to come through. 600 meters. Abdullah, he's still in a good position, but can he get forward, and then can he hold it? No. He gets 3 bike lengths, and his red bar is gone. 3 bike lengths was all he had in there. David Gonzalez takes the win. Like I said, our mountain ratings just aren't that great. Abdullah, normally your best puncher, if they're a good enough climber, he would have had all of his red bar left here, or most of it left at the point where we hit that sprint. And from there, and from that position, a good puncher, good acceleration, would have won. 78 on the hills is great. 71 on the acceleration was acceptable. But he was used up, and that's because he just didn't have the medium mountain and mountain ratings themselves to keep the tempo. And our tempo didn't necessarily beat up the others well enough. Abdullah got 9th. It's a decent finish, but not a win here. Stage 4 is a little more suited to us. 27k to go here on the final stage, and we've got a triple climb, which we've just finished the first lap of. The sprint point upcoming will actually be where you complete that circuit. It's also where you match up for the finish line. We've just gone through the first climb of the triple set that we are going to do. I've just formed up my sprint train, and with 23k to go, and some of it definitely being descending, overall it should go relatively quickly. 83 left in the peloton. Breakaway was already caught. We have a sprint point here, but no one seems to be contesting it as we are getting ourselves now finally into position. And Shui leading us out, going through first on that one. There are 3 seconds saved there, but nobody seems to be going after it, and that's not my target anyway. I'm just looking for the stage win. We are not in position, other than I think Abdullah is still in a good place. Actually, so is Shui. Shui was only 11 seconds down, just gained 3 seconds there. So as we navigate this climb, this is the hard part. We're trying to set it up for the sprint instead of it being a puncher's kind of day. Don't really have the punchers. We've already seen that they can't really compete with the others. And so Shui still leading us through here, doing really well with 17K to go now, and only one more time to hit that climb. And then, you know, you hit that sprint. So from here, we can start pushing a lot harder. Shui's already getting to recover with the descent even. And so we're going to push much harder through this next portion of it. Altingaro, the guy to get the nod today. Race day condition, nowhere near what it was on the last stage. Peloton is shrinking, 77. Shui is going to, again, collect another 3 seconds here in a moment. But those 6 seconds won't put him in position to maybe win this, unless there's actual separation. But we will definitely try to, once we go through this sprint point, we're going to drop him to the back and see if we can't get him to the end of this thing. So on to Sophia as soon as we go through. There we go. Shui to the back. 10K to go. Don't need to be going 99 at the moment, but we're going to push hard for the climb. I haven't split anybody else off. It's still 77. Definitely not the climber, but Zipinati is. Zipinati's taken a lot of the pain and suffering for everybody else, but this is where that lack of climbing goes. Further down the line, you shouldn't feel it as much, but we are very much feeling it still. Sophia dropping to the back. Okay, 4 guys. 4 guys, nearly to the top, and we've offset the attacks of others, meaning we have managed to set this up for sprinters, but Altingaro, Grunland, they've got to recover on this descent just a little bit. Okay, on to Abdullah. 5K. Gels for the rest.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Zipinati needs to establish us out front while those guys recover and get set. And if we've got that front position, we've got a real chance on this stage. 3K. 3K. We are going to start sprinting as soon as we hit the bottom because I've still got 4 guys. So we hit this corner. Oh, it's the next corner. Zipinati needs to be going flat out. We've split the field. We have split the field. But we're not the only ones. 2 guys got away from the field. 2 guys got away from the field. Zipinati can't overcome them. Oh, he's not even sprinting here. What the heck? None of these guys are proper. None of them proper sprint. We split the field. Maybe the GC. I doubt it, but we need to check the GC first because we've absolutely split this field. And a small group at the front, and maybe Zipinati, I don't think he was because he had that huge negative race day condition the other day. But Altingaro 5th, Grunland 6th, Abdullah 7th. Close, but 2 guys hung with us and took care of business. Otherwise, the entire team was in the top 10 today. Tiny chance, tiny. Shui was one of those good positioned ones where the time was on his side. Abdullah, I think, was the other one. Oh, no time gaps. It's a punchy stage. How in the world did they not give those time gaps? The field was split over the top, too. Everybody down to 74th on same time. So, yeah, no, that didn't happen. Great team finish, but no victory today. Shui gets up to 3rd overall, 5 seconds down, but Teutenberg takes the win, so we do not get that win either. Abdullah was 14th at the general, 11 seconds down, which only lasted to 38th place. It was a pretty small group after the separation on stage 3 set that up, and that was my 2 guys that were in that small group at the finish. That ultimately was about 60 riders, maybe 50. 3rd is close, but it's not a win. We're at the Post Nord Denmark, the Tour of Denmark. I don't know why we still to this day, I get it imperialistically why we would have done it in the past, but the linguistic anglicization, like, I don't get it. Why do we still transfer foreign place names into... Oh my gosh, this is my second crash. This is Sophia's second crash in a short period of time. And this one is not looking good for what it's going to do to us. Let's get those guys out of the line. Chang and Lubers lose a lot of ground. And we've got a breakaway here that's still not been cut. At least both guys are not injured. But they are well behind. Lubers and Chang also, where the point of the crash was, they have been left behind. And will they make contact with the front group? It looks like they might. But can Lubers and Chang get back up in position? Anyway, we've got a task on our hands today that just got made a hell of a lot harder because there's a breakaway that's with 11K to go, still a minute and a half up the road, and we just lost 2 of our chase members. We had to slow our pace to allow 2 more to get back in contact. Yeah, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. On to Abdullah. It was already looking like a difficult chase to get the breakaway, and I think the breakaway might just hang on to it today here. Abdullah's caught in traffic, so we can't even get forward right now. Finally, we emerge out of that, but it's just 10K to go. Shu, our main sprinter, -4 race day condition. This is a back-to-back race with what we just finished in Norway, with a handful of days in between. And so with 8K to go, I'm down to my last 3 guys here. Not feeling too good about our chances in catching either the breakaway or in taking the stage. Lubers has still not recovered from getting back up into position and pulling Chang along. At least he's got Chang pulled along, but we are going to have to... Well, we can't sprint now with Hallinan. Okay, on to Lubers. We've got to go. 2K out. Well off the pace. Weaker sprinter. Chang not well positioned, and the breakaway does take it anyway. From that gap, pretty sure we would have caught them if not for that crash, which was the second crash in 20K for Sophia. Stanley Sophia had just crashed, had just gotten back up into position over that last 20K, and then he crashes again. Rough day. I was thinking about the overall for this race, and that's going to hurt the chances of that by quite a bit. Well, chances of the overall remain intact, that front group, with being away in the breakaway the entire stage, and we never made contact. We were about a dozen to maybe 20 seconds behind. They should have gotten that gap. They did not. That's pitiful. That is the worst part about Pro Cycling Manager for me, is time gaps not being given when they're earned. I mean, they led from the first kilometers till 220K later. They were never caught. They still had a gap. It might not have been huge, but a gap is a gap. Even a handful of seconds should be given. It's a sprint stage, right? 200K alone up the road and hanging on. How in the world do they not get given the same time? Makes no sense whatsoever. But it does keep us in the race. Chang is my best time trialist, and he, though not our best sprinter, is actually our best hope for the chances of an overall. And this keeps us in it because a few breakaway riders getting some time, they'll turn around and lose that. Also, adding to the chances here is that only 47 riders ended up on same time, and Zhu, our other sprinter, and Hallinan and Lubers, all of the sprint capable guys, were in that smaller select group. Depending on what happens with it's somewhere in between a prologue and time trial. It's only 12K, stage 2. will make a big difference on whether we have a chance, because obviously the contenders are in the front 47. But how much time will we lose? Because we're not winning. But can we be competitive at least with Chang? So the individual time trial, the 12K flat time trial, has been won by Corbin Strong. Now that's an actual competitor, but I do not know if he was amongst those who lost time on that last stage, and that'll be a big thing to pay attention to. Julian Alaphilippe is here. It's not going to be an easy race, no matter how you look at this thing, but he's not the rider he once was. And Chang does do well, takes 14th, 18 seconds down. That's a good time, but how many of these guys are in that select group? The answer is a fair few, including Corbin Strong. Corbin Strong is now the favorite for the race overall, as a very good sprinter and already having the driver's seat on this one. Ulig's pretty cool. Okay, 2-year favorites are right at the front. Albert Philipsen drops to third, but even he could kind of sprint. He can sprint better than all but one of my guys. This is not going to be easy, but Chang is 8th, just 18 seconds down. So there is a chance. There are some breakaway stages, but he's 8th. Lubers is in a little bit better position to maybe send into a breakaway, collect 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds in the drop back. There's a lot of intermediate sprints here where you can gain some time, but from 46 seconds down, he's a little too far back. If we were about here in the rankings, I would love to send that rider into a breakaway, collect those easy 9 seconds, and then just drop back. That would move him up into the top 10. Then you got to go focus on trying to win a stage. But Chang's already a little too high. I think we're just going to have to focus on trying to win a stage with Chang. And at this rate, it looks like not only will we need 2 to get the 10-second time bonus, but I think we'll probably need more than that, as I think either Ulig or Strong will, as very capable sprinters, get some top 3s in the coming stages. So it's not over yet, but it's going to be a difficult task. If it was nothing but time trialists in the top 10 and then Chang, I'd like our chances. So there was only 2 riders off the front, and they still had a slender lead, so I went ahead and tested the field, see what they would do. And I attacked with Chang, and they didn't care. They let him get away. So he is in the breakaway. There are 3 intermediate sprints with 3 seconds available at each, which is, if you can win all 3, the equivalent, minus 1 second anyway, of winning a stage. So as we come up on the first one with 6K to go, the guys around me, 64s, and Wisniewski, 65. He's got a huge advantage over that. Well, not huge. He's only a 70-70. He's got that plus 5 today, and it's 73s. He's got a real shot to win each of the intermediates, and it also depends a little bit on how much these guys want to contest it. Will they contest it at all? On the recovery side now, 446 ahead of the field, so we should easily be able to stay away. And as we come up on 1K to go, they've not attacked, they've not countered. We've got this easily. There you go. We'll set up, we'll come back. I'm not going to take my chances. I want the 3 seconds. 3 seconds and 3 seconds, which would cut in half the gap to Corbin Strong, bring us to just 9 seconds down on the overall race lead. Probably not going to let me go in a future stage, as we'll get too close as a GC contender. And today could be an interesting day with some cobbled sectors, so we're going to have to be really careful with that for Chang. We'll contribute a little bit. But these guys are 6 minutes ahead. Wait, is there a chance that they could go on and win the stage today and put us in a scenario where we easily move up into the race lead? Well, we'll see where the other 2 are on their timing. I haven't looked yet. I looked at their sprint ratings, and it wasn't threatening, but let's make sure we get the next 3 seconds first. 5K to go. Almost recovered, so tempo's not bad at all on how we're riding right now. Just under 200K to go. It's a long stage. Gotta be careful later on to not damage our chances of staying in the peloton. 1K to go. Attacking. They do respond this time, but we easily beat them in the sprint head-to-head. 6 seconds gained. Down to just 12 behind Corbin Strong now. Okay, recovery is complete. Let's go back to contributing just a little bit. They're out to 8 minutes. They're out to 8 minutes. That is not a guarantee, especially with 191K, that you're going to hang on. But the chances of a stage victory are increasing. 10 minutes ahead of the field, and suddenly I think they have picked that gap. They have picked that gap, have stabilized it. We do have these guys contending the KOM. So they are after the KOM. I'm not after the KOM, but I don't want to get dropped. So we'll sit on, we'll recover, and then we'll start contributing again. Peloton is riding now, though, but at this stage anyway, they've only pulled back 10 seconds. A lot of time. 174K to go. Still could be an easy catch at the end of the day. Okay, next climb. Last one of the day, luckily, so I don't have to deal with these guys attacking yet again. And we make contact. We're down to 8.5 minutes. Peloton's definitely riding harder than before. But we're going to get back to full strength here in a little bit. The big thing is we are still burning more overall energy by working harder, being in the breakaway. So got to be really careful to not ruin our chances later on, as we have a number of cobbled sectors coming up, or gravel sectors, whichever. And we're looking at, what's that, 9 sectors, but none of them at the end of the race. So as long as we don't go too hard, and we're back out to 9 minutes, by the way. If we don't go too hard through most of them, Cheng's going to be okay. Big thing is going to be what that gap looks like down the road. And with an 8-minute advantage, it's looking like it's possible. Okay, it is gravel, and we are through the first one. The gravel makes it easier. We're talking about 1-star stuff that's not going to do too much damage. And Cheng, today at least, has a +6 on his cobble rating, giving him a respectable 68, where he's got a really good flat rating at 78, and he's got very good stamina. Well, very good. 76 is not that good in this game, but for our level, for our purposes today, he is looking pretty dang good as a rider, and I think can hang on. For one thing, we're definitely going to get that 3 seconds here in the next little bit. 113K. It's 2-star gravel, so it's not exactly the easy stuff. 6 minutes up the road from everybody else. Coming up 7K on the sprint point. .540 ahead. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sprint. Almost missed it. Jang. He's got it. He's got it. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Alright, quick recovery. Quick recovery. Now, if they set up, I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it, because we have our 9 seconds gained. And unless they win the stage, there's nothing to gain from them being out here anymore. So we want to get back to full strength. Priority number 1 is not get caught and then dropped by the peloton. We've got to at least finish with the peloton, and the stage, if it's a chance, then of course we want it. We want to take it, even if we only get third. If there's a gap between us and the field, we're going to move into the race lead. As these guys are 6.5 and 7.5 minutes down overall, they are not in contention. But 92K to go, and a gap's already cut in half, means the field, I think they've got us under control. As we navigate this next cobbled sector, or gravel sector that is, we're down to just 2 more to go. And it's quite a while from now. 2 back-to-back. That part's good. That's almost behind us. We haven't done too much damage. Everybody's fine. But at 410 with 72K to go, I don't think we're going to be competing for the stage. I do think they're going to be pulling us back. But right now we're still looking really good for at least getting same time, and might even still be able to compete for the sprint. Gap now at 3 minutes. Final 2 gravel sectors. Yeah, the gap's coming down pretty quick. 50k to go. Not much of a chance of the stage victory coming from the breakaway. I think Chang's best chance is to really kind of just ease along, get caught, get protection, and serve as our sprinter here at the end of the stage. Yeah, 210. One of these riders has really kind of given up on contributing as well, making it that much worse. 38k to go. 25k to go. It's a minute 10 gap. Chang, I'm really starting to back off a little bit, and what I'm gonna do here is shortly I'm gonna set up my sprint train and have it just kind of motor along, and when they catch Chang, they catch Chang, and Chang will just join in. In fact, the other two have given up, so they are sitting up. So under the 20k banner, starting to form up that train to get moving, and we will pick up Chang here in just a moment. Alright, so 17k to go. Fairly flat stage from here. Should come down to sprinters. We'll see if any of the teams have been impacted by all the gravel, if it's offset anybody, but I doubt it. We got 16k left to go. Hallinan. Probably get another shot at this thing, but I think that's enough. Hallinan lost the wheel there for a little bit, which is setting us back a little bit. We're at 10k, but we are finally getting established out front. Abdullah is now recovering, but it's a little late for him to come back through. Oh gosh, we have... why are we so far down? Because we're not pushing hard enough. This is going to be a difficult one. The lead outs for the other teams are looking a lot stronger than ours right now. Sophia is pulling us forward at least. 4k to go. 2.7. We're gonna have to soft sprint. We're too disadvantaged of a position, so we gotta go. Shu and Chang sprinting. Oh, are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it? No. Here comes the faster riders. We don't even crack the top 3. And the red bar runs out about 60 meters before the end. There's Ulig. Ulig gaining more time. Wellsford is the favorite. He's a 79 or 78, something like that. He's pretty strong. Corbett Strong does miss the top 3 at least. We do gain some time on him. Chang is, without a doubt, moving up the order a little bit, but it's going to be a tough ask to get a top 3. And Zhu getting negative draws. So Ulig overtakes Corbin Strong, though, on same time. So we're still dealing with same time. But like I said, those two, inevitably, we're going to score some top 3s. Chang, meanwhile, has moved up to 5th place. Has cut his deficit in half. But where else are we going to find time? And if he's top 5, are they going to let him go in a breakaway and do the same thing? Feels unlikely. But we'll see. For whatever reason, even though he was in the top 10 last stage, they didn't care that he attacked and went for the breakaway. So if we're lucky, they'll let us go again. Everybody else is too far back for that strategy to work. Chang, I think we're going to be hard-pressed to score a top 3. I mean, we couldn't even get the lead out into the best position. We had to sprint early and came up short of the line. We were out front, but we came up short of the line as a result. So we need to start out front, so we can start the sprint a little bit later so that we don't run out of energy before the finish and can maintain. We might be able to get a top 3. We might be able to get a win here, but it's going to be tough. It's a little bit too strong of a field. Your Uligs with 77s and Strongs with a balanced out 75. There's Wellsford. Wellsford. It's Wellsford. He's Australian. 78. Like, Chang's a 70. I'm going to go ahead and save stages 4 and 5 for our next episode as we proceed, as I'm at the time limit for this one. But Chang, his expected is a +5 daily. And that's part of what's really setting him up. He's on his fitness peak, has the objective. But you can see Abdullah and Zhu do not have those bonuses. This is not an objective for them. And even though they are building towards a fitness peak for another race, this is not the one. So Zhu is likely to daily be in the position he is, which is why Chang has been running as the leader, and Lubers and Sophia have been the top helpers because they're getting what's expected. They're getting what they've prepared for, which is those three riders at their best. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.